All right, fam. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to run comps, how to figure out what a property's worth under 5 minutes. It's going to be really, really fast. I'm going to keep it simple, short, sweet, and straight to the point, okay? So here's how you figure out what the property's worth running comps on that property, okay? So let's just say the property is at 123 Main Street, okay? And we're trying to figure out what this property's worth, which means what is it worth after it's fixed up, which is the ARV, which is after repair value. All right, what is it worth after it's fixed up? So here is what you need to know. What you need to understand is you need to find 3 comparables, okay? So we need to find 3 comps, which is 3 comparables. 3 property that is similar to the one that you're trying to get under contract for, okay? So which means we got to match up the number of bedrooms. I don't know. So it had to be bedroom, bathroom, and square footage. Now, square footage can be plus or minus 100, okay? So let's just say that this 123 Main Street has 1,000 square feet, right? The house is 1,000 square feet, and the one that is sold is 900. Can you compare it to that? The answer is yes. So it's plus or minus 100, okay? So we need to find 3 comparables, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2 is that you want to stay within, when you first start, you want it within half a mile, okay? Half a mile radius. The closer that property is to your property that you're trying to put on a contract, the stronger the comps, right? The stronger the comps. The further out it is, right? Obviously, the comp is not as strong. But typically, I will start with anything within half a mile. It's good, okay? So if you can find 3 comps within half a mile that is similar to the property you try and put on a contract, you add those 3 up. So you add up the 3 comps. Oh, shoot, my mic. Oh, Lord, hold on a second. The mic. I forgot about the mic. Hello, can you guys hear me now? YouTube family? Okay, you just probably hear me better now. I don't know if I should start over or are we good to go? Come in the chat, let me know. Are we good to go or should I start over? My bad. I left the mic over there. And that's why. So let me know, should I continue or should we start over? Man, YouTube is a little slow, man. YouTube is just slow. Like nobody. Okay, YouTube is just slow. Okay. I think I should start over. Okay, let me start over. Okay. No, good to go. Okay, good to go. Okay, so which is half a mile. Okay, and then after that, if you can't find anything within half a mile, then you can go out to a mile radius. Okay, so you can go out to a mile radius, but you want to start with half a mile, and then if you can't find anything, you can go out to a mile radius. Okay. Now, the next question that you need to ask is when it comes to the lot size, right? So the lot size, when we talk about lot size versus acreage, now there's a difference, okay? So if this 123 Main Street is sitting on 15,000 square feet, okay, and the other property is sitting on 1 acre, then obviously the one that sits on 1 acre is probably going to worth more. Okay, and you need to figure out what is 1 acre worth in your area. Okay, typically I would, if this house sits on a 15,000 square feet, okay, and the other one sits on 1 acre, I automatically probably assume that's probably going to worth $40,000 to $50,000 more for the one that sits on 1 acre in my area. Okay, so this one you also got to understand your market as well. Now, let's just say that you look for everything within half a mile. Okay, so once you found the 3 comps, you add them up, and then you just divide it by 3. So you add up the 3 comparables that you found, right, that is similar to your property, and then you divide it by 3, and that, my friend, is going to be the ARV. Now, when you also look at these property, when you're trying to run your comps, you got to make sure that you look at the picture. You got to make sure that these are up to date. Right? Which means does it have granite countertop? Does it have stainless steel appliances? Like, does it look like it's being rehabbed and it's brand new? Okay? Because it's not, then you cannot use it as your ARV, which is after repair value, which means some property are being sold in an as-is condition, or it's update but not fully updated. Maybe they went in there, they did new paint, they did new floor, but the kitchen, the bathroom is outdated and it's old. So which means you cannot use that as like your ARV, like what is it worth, right? So, okay. So let's just say there's a property that is worth $300,000, okay? $300,000. Okay, I'm gonna erase this real quick here. When it comes to comps, like it'll take some time for you to kind of understand it, but I'm trying to make it as simple as I possibly can here, okay? And I'll show you exactly how to figure it out. Don't worry. So let's just say that you found a house, and that house is not fully renovated, right? They might paint, they might put new flooring, but the kitchen, the bathroom is outdated, right? So and that probably, maybe let's just say that property sold for $250,000, okay? And then another one down the street, completely renovated, fully updated, that one sold for $300,000. So which one should you use? Obviously, you should use the one that's fully renovated, okay? Not the one that has not been fully renovated. Now, let's just say that you try to search for everything within a mile radius, and you cannot find anything that matches your property. Here's the next thing you should do, and this is something that one of my students asked me yesterday. He said, "Khang, I try to find it, but I just can't. I can't find any of them comparables." Here's the next move you want to make. You want to call 3 realtors. You want to call 3 realtors in your market. You got to make sure that these realtors are active, right? They're active in the market, all right? They're mover and shakers. You want to find 3 realtors and you want to ask them. You don't want to give them the property address. All you need to say is, "Hey, my partner and I were looking to, fix and flip in this area. We came across this property. I can't give you the address right yet, but we just kind of want to know, right, what property are selling for in that particular area." And you can just give them all the descriptions of that property, and that realtors they'll run comps and they'll let you know. And you just need to tell that realtor that we're looking to build some relationship with some agents in the local market that we can work with. So now what it is they're doing something for you in return, possibly getting your business. Because everybody in the business know that for you to get someone else's business, you got to provide value. You got to add value to that person. Make sense? And you just don't want to call 1 realtor, okay? You want to call 3 of them. And then out of those 3, they'll give you a number. They should be within a ballpark of each other. And that right there, my friend, if it comes down to you have to do that, you just have to do that, okay? 3 realtors, ask them what it's worth. They'll tell you, they'll get you a number, and bam. We actually just did this on one of the property, which I was talking to a seller yesterday. And she gave us all the information, right? So she got 2 duplex that sits on 1 lot, but everything around it was like a single family home, right? And if it was a duplex, it was a duplex that sits on its own lot. So it's really hard for us to figure out so now she got 2 duplex, so which is the 4 units, sit on 1 lot, right? 1 partial. So we end up having to call one of our realtor, and then he ran the comps and he said, "Hey, Khang, this property, if you can subdivide it, is probably going to worth up to $1 million, right? If you keep it as is, it's probably going to worth about $750,000. Guess what the $750,000 to $800,000, he said. Okay, and guess what the seller wants? Seller wants $650,000. So I told my VA to call the seller back and say, "Hey, $650,000, we can make it work, because I believe that we can subdivide it. If we can, it's probably going to be worth $1 million." Okay. So anyways, that's what happened when you can't run comps. Now let me show you a software that I use to run comparables, because a lot of you be like, "Well, where do I find my comparables?" You can use Zillow,
but you definitely don't want to go with their Zestimate. There's Zillow, there's Redfin, there's Trulia, right? And you go down there. But I'm going to share with you the software that I use to figure out what the ARV is within like a couple minutes. Okay, so let me share with you what I use. Okay, so let me share my screen really quick. So this is the software that I use. Now, let me know, comment in a property address. Comment a property address that you trying to figure out what the property's worth, and I'll try to run, I'm going to run the comps for you right now, okay? So put in the property address. Okay, so let me flip, okay, TikTok, put in the property address, okay? Let me run the comps for you, and when you have the software, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to figure out comps. Otherwise, you're going to be on Zillow, you're going to be on Redfin. This property, with this software, it's just going to make things a lot easier, a lot quicker, save you a lot of time. And here's how we run comps, okay? Man, YouTube family just, okay. So let me, hold on a second. TikTok family, comment in a property address. Could be your parents' address, man. Could be your parents' address. So comment in an address, and then I'll try to run comps. And I'll tell you what that property is worth, okay? So comment in an address, okay? Okay, 22 State Street, San Diego. Okay, there we go. YouTube is just slow. YouTube family, what is going on? Oh yeah, and also too is by the end of this, I'm going to call a seller, and we're going to renegotiate. Okay, Derek. Okay, Derek got a one right here, 2313. Okay, 2313. So all you do is I go into this software. It's called kingdata.ai. I go property leads. It is so easy. I go property leads. I put in the property address. Okay, so 2313. Let me figure out 2313. Okay, let's figure out what this property is worth. Hanson Road, right? Elridge. Yep, Elridge, Maryland. Boom. Okay. So now we're going to run and see what this property is worth, okay? Boom. The cool thing is I put in the property address. Guess what? Now I can call the seller. I can text the seller. All right, there's the email. I can email them an offer as well. So now what we do is we're going to go here and we're going to click on comparables. This is how easy this gets with the software. Okay, I'll click on comparables and bam. Literally within 5 minutes, I should be able to figure out what this property is worth, what the ARV is. So there's the software, kingdata.ai. So Derek, what do you think this property is worth? So Derek, comment in, let me know. What do you think this property is worth? Okay? What do you think this property is worth? So I'm going to go here. All I'm going to do is we're going to go here. We're going to be like, okay, so the distance. So do you guys see how this is called radius? I didn't even know what this is. So a circle is called radius. This is right now, they go out within a mile radius of this property. Now, it also depends on your market. You know, I know in some market, one house, right, can be worth freaking $1 million. And then you just go one block, and that house can be worth $100,000. So it's very, very, so you need to understand your market. It's extremely important, right? But typically, what I just share with you, half a mile radius, we should be good. So now I want to be like, boom. You know what? I'm going to start with anything within half a mile. Okay, pull everything within half a mile. As you can see, it pulls everything up for me right here. Okay, and now all I need to do is I'll be like, okay. Now I'm going to go through how many bedroom and bathroom that property have. Let me see here. Let me go back. Okay, let's see how many bedroom and bathroom. So this property has okay, so this property is a 3-bed, okay, 3-bed, 1.5 bath, okay? I'll show you guys around. It is right around 1,550 square feet, okay? So TikTok, I'm going to flip the camera around. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'll just keep it like this, okay? So all we're going to do is we're going to hit on comparables again. Now we know the bedrooms, and that's all you really need to know, right? The bedroom, the bathroom, and the square footage of the property. And then we should be good to go. So Here's one that is sold 0.3 miles away. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay. It is sold for $248,000. Okay. March 14th, 2025. Okay. So that's how much it's sold for. Let me see here. Anything else? No. Okay. So this is a 4-bed, 2-bath, and R is a 3-bed, 1.5 bath. So I wouldn't compare that. 2, 3. Here's it. Okay. So this one, I think. So this one's already sold. It's sold for $190,000. Okay. So the property that you gave me the address on, 2313. It is. So wait, let's see. Okay, 32313. It's sold already. So why are we running comps on it? Okay, well, for practice. Okay, so here's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath. This one is 1,800 square feet. So I'm just going to give this one a thumbs up for now. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So it has one extra bathroom, and it's bigger. So it's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, and it's 18, almost 19. I'm just going to put 1,900 square feet. So I automatically know, and this one sold for $310,000. So now I'm going to click on it, and then I want to see pictures, you know. So I'm going to click on this property. Hold on a second. Okay. It took me over to another. Okay, so let me see if I can see some pictures. Okay, I'm going to stop the sharing on this one, and then I'm going to share on another one. Jeez. Share screen on another one. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm not as good as a. Okay, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is the property we're looking at, 2405 Papaya Road. Got some picture for me. So let's go through the pictures. Okay, it looks like it is. I'm gonna go really fast because I know. Okay, so this right here does not look. This right here it looks outdated. It needs definitely renovation. Just look at the kitchen. Look at the bathrooms. Okay, do you guys see what I'm looking at? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I would say that house, this house here that sold for $310,000. That's probably in an as-is condition. Okay, so sold for $310,000 in an as-is condition. Okay, so let's see here. So I wouldn't use that as a comps. Okay, so I wouldn't use that as comps. So we're gonna remove that. Oh man, hold on a second. I just gotta switch screen. Okay, let me bring the other screen on. Jeez. Okay, so we're going to switch, and then we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so here is one. This is a 3-bed. Okay, so this is good. This right here is a 3-bed, 1-bath, just sold for $325,000. Okay, it's also a 1,500 square feet, so which is good. This one right here matches the one that we are trying to put under contract. So I'm going to use this one right here. Okay. TikTok family, if you want to watch this, you got to head over to YouTube. So type in on YouTube, just type in @realkingkhang, and I should pop up. Okay, so gosh, I'm going to switch screen again. Hold on a second. So now what I'm doing is I'm just looking at the pictures, you know. That's not it. That's not. Okay, this is the one. So now we're going to go and we're going to check out these pictures. Okay, we're going to look at some picture. This looks, let me see here. Okay, as you guys can see that this looks like it is nicer than the other one. It has stainless steel appliances, has, I don't know if that's granite or marble. So it is, so this one here has been renovated somewhat. Interior doors, they left the closet the same. This looks new. So they did somewhat of an updated. Bathrooms probably has not been updated. Okay, so this is not fully renovated, but it's definitely nicer. So I would say I would use that as a comps. So sometimes when you, so here's the key. When you look at comparables, You know, this is what you need. So if you're a house flipper, the house flipper would look at this and be like, hey, maybe I don't need to put in granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and just deck everything out. So if they can match their rehab similar to this property, then they can sell it for, what is this one sold for? This one sold for $325,000. So that one sold for $300,000. So now we know, okay, there's one sold for $325,000. Let me remove this. Okay, I'm sharing another screen with you. Jeez, man. Okay. All right, so now so all you need to do is once you found it, you give it a thumbs up. So everything is still within, it's a mile radius. So let me pull it down to half a mile. Let's see if that property is still in there. Nope. Nope. So here's the 2.5. Bigger. That one sold for $310,000. I think we looked at that one already. Here's the 3. Okay, we did. Okay, this one right here sold $325,000. That's the one that's within half a mile. So that's good. Let me see if there's any other one. Okay, this one is pending. This is a $300,000 or $300,000. It's currently pending. So I'm gonna go look at this, and I'm gonna see. Okay. I just gotta go to a bunch of different screens here. Okay, so I think this is the one that we're looking at. Okay, so this one here just sold for what, 300, or it's pending for it's pending. So it could sell for more, could sell for less. But I'm going through it right now, and okay, it looks like it's average. Okay, so it's currently pending right now for $300,000. That is why the other one looks nicer. So the other one sold for $325,000. We got one that's currently pending at $300,000. I mean, I can kind of tell you right now already what this property's worth. Okay, so I'm gonna share the screen back to the other one. I know this is boring. When it's work, it's boring. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this one right here. So we're gonna give that one a thumbs up. Boom. And then here's another one that sold. This is a 1,300 square feet, which is less. It's currently pending. Okay, so here's another one, 1,375. This one sold for $332,000. I'm gonna give that one a thumbs up, and then I'm gonna look at the picture. I can tell you right now already what this property's worth. But just so we can complete our research, I'm going to try to show you as much as I can here. Okay, so here's the last one that we're looking at. This one sold for over $300,000. So let's look at some pictures. See, the cool thing about having this software is obviously you can go on here, you can look at pictures and all that, and you can see. Now this one is renovated pretty nicely, as you can see here. Okay. Let's see the bathroom. Oh, it's real nice. Okay. TikTok family, let me flip the camera so you guys can kind of see here what I'm looking at. Can you see? No, that's not it. Oh, man. Hold on. Okay, forget it. Forget it. Try and multitask. Okay. So as you guys can see here, it is nice. Okay, that's pretty nice. And let's just see how much this one sold for. Okay. So let's see how much this one sold for. This one sold for $322,000. And it's 0.5 miles away. This is a 2-bed, very similar to ours. It is a little bit smaller. It's $1,375. And it just sold for $322,000. So I can tell you right now already, I know what this property is worth. Okay. So this property right here, fully rented, it doesn't need to be like really, really nice, but somewhat nice. And I think that you can get about $325,000 for that property. So that's what I would think the property's worth. Whoever bought it for 190,000. And let me tell you how much the renovation on that property will be. Okay. And let me tell you how much that house flipper investor will make on this deal. Okay. I'm giving you guys the game here. I'm going the extra mile. I'll show you. Because for those of you who don't know, when I first started my real estate career, I was a house flipper. I buy fix and flip houses for 4.5 years. So I know my numbers. I know my construction background. Okay. When I first started, I did not know anything. Okay. But let me go back to the property really quick here. So 2-3. Okay. 2-3. Hold on a second. Let me go back to our property. Based on the picture, I'll tell you right now how much it's going to cost to renovate this property. Okay. And how much that. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to try to share my screen. I'll tell you right now how much I think this investor will make. Man, I have so many things open. I don't even know which one. Okay, it's got to be this one. Okay. I don't see any pictures, so let me see here. Okay, we don't see any. Okay, there is no picture. Let me see here. Okay, so they bought it for 190. Okay, so I didn't get to see any pictures, but the investor bought it for 190. Okay, it's a 1.5 bath. It's 1,550 square feet. I can tell you right now, based on my calculation, it's probably not a heavy rehab. Let's just go with a medium rehab. So it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. Typically, I would use right around 1,550 just times $35 per square feet. This one is going to cost him about $50,000, $54,000 to renovate this property. So we take 190. Okay, 190. Okay, he got to pay closing costs and all the fees when he buy it. So closing costs typically, let's just say another 3% for this cat. So he's all in it for, let's just say 196. 196 plus 50. So he's all in it for 246. Yep. That investor bought it for 190 plus closing costs. Okay, which is $5K plus 54,000 in renovation. So he's all in it for about 246,000. He can sell for 325. Now here's how you do the math. Okay, he can sell for 325,000. This is how much he got in it. So if he sell for 325,000, we got to minus the realtor commissions to closing costs. Hold on here. Let me go back to the screen. Let me exit this out. So now you got to take. So those of you who buy fix and flip property do not understand this, okay? Is that you need to also take in consideration, now you become a seller. So you're listing the property and you're selling it back on the market, okay? Hold on a second. Hold on, YouTube family. Sorry, hold on. Give me a little time here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so typically what I do is I'll minus 10% because you get realtor commissions, you get closing costs, and all those fees that you have to pay. Typically, I just go with 10% just to be safe. Man, I need a new calculator. So 325 minus 10%. So okay, hold on. So 325, that's how much he's selling for, minus 10%. So his closing cost is going to cost him about $29,000. So closing cost alone is right around $29,000. So all I need to do is take 325 minus 29,000. I am not good with math. So he's now at 296. So 296 is what this is the net number. Okay, so now we take 296 minus 246, 0, 5, So he'll make $50,000 on this rehab, which is not bad. It depends on how long it took him. If all the number is correct, that's exactly. So I'm very confident. I'm very confident in the ARV of what he would sell for. The only thing with fix and flip is that, you know, with the ARV, I can be pretty confident. But with the rehab, who knows, right? Because sometimes when you open up the walls, there could be a lot more work than you anticipated. But that rehabber is going to make $50,000 on that deal. So which is really good, okay? Andre said, can I run another comps? So I don't think I'll have time to run another comps. But for those of you, if you want to run comparables, if you want to know where to find motivated seller leads, you want to know where to find your cash buyer, and get all of your skip tracing pay for free, you don't have to worry about paying a dime for skip tracing again. You know, you can take a property at your. So let's just say Andreas said, hey, this property here, let's just say you're driving for dollars. You found a property. You can go home, take it to this software. It's called kingdata.ai, and I can just punch in the property address, and I can find out who's the owner of the property, okay? And then I can call them up, I can email them, and I can also send them a letter. I gotta call the seller too, so let me try to put in this property address, 2860. I won't have time to run comps on this, but I will state street. San Diego, California, right here. Here it is. Never ever have to pay for skip tracing again. This is a 2 units. So this is a duplex, I guess. Is that true? 286 State, San Diego. It's a duplex. Here's the seller's number. Here's the email address. I can literally reach out to them right now, call them and say, hey, I want to buy your property. And then if you go all the way down, you know everything about their property. Okay, estimated equity is 78%, which means they have a lot of equity in this property, which is really good. Okay, it's also an absentee owner. It tells you right here, this is an absentee owner. They don't live in the property. And this is the actual mailing address. If you want to send them a letter or do direct mail, this is not the address. This is just their property. This is their rental. This is the actual mailing address. And then if you go down some more, it'll tell them right here, it's a duplex, multifamily, built in 1979, 3,000 square feet, which means each unit is about 1,500 square feet. Total, it's a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-story, 2 units, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Right here, property tax, estimated annual, holy cow, $24,000 in property tax? Come on, man, shit. Now, for property tax, here's something I know that I think Mr. Trump, Donald Trump, is trying to get rid of property tax, which I think I do not understand why we have to pay property tax. We buy the property, especially when you pay it off. Let's just say when you pay off the property, I mean, you should own that piece of real estate. You should own that land, but we don't. Dude, like we pay tax when we buy it. We pay tax when we own it. We pay tax when we sell it. So, dude, we can't get away with this whole Uncle Sam trying to get our money. But yeah, $24,000. Imagine if that homeowner can save $24,000 in taxes per year. Dude, that money was going to go back into the economy, right? They now have $24,000 extra. They're going to start buying stuff, and it's going to go back. It's going to stimulate the economy. I don't understand why we have to pay property tax. I understand we pay it while while we still owe mortgage on it. But after we pay it off, man, dude, 30 years, come on, man, shit, let us go. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you agree with me, comment in the chat and let me know, man. But for me, I own 14 rentals. So, but my property tax is not $24,000 on one property. This is freaking insane. Dude, California. Something in California that I don't understand, man. California, dude, you pay 50% to Uncle Sam, 50% in tax. If you make $1 million, $500,000, 500 G's, Uncle Sam said, hey, I want half of it. So Uncle Sam is your partner. Uncle Sam is our partner. But honestly, with property tax, I just don't understand why, man. But I pay roughly about $25,000 on property tax a year based on all the property that I own. So, dude, it's quite a bit of money, man. Okay. So this one, it estimated. So this is just a estimate. It estimated this property to be worth $2.4 million. Okay. It assessed this tax assessed value at $2 million. In my states, you can buy a duplex now for like, 600,000. If you find a good deal, you can probably buy it for like, 5 maybe, but 6, 7, 800,000. Dude, California, 2 million. So there's no way in California, man, you'll be able to make the there's no way that you'll be able to make the rent make sense for what you have to buy the property for. My family owned that one. Press, let's go. Well, your family's a bowler. Your family's a bowler, dude. So let me know if the phone number and the email address is correct. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I got to call the seller, okay? If we didn't have to pay that, our margin would be better. Oh, yeah, man. Honestly, dude, how much? Okay, so let's talk about this. How much are you guys getting in rent on it? Because I cannot, because I don't see how you can, make the number make sense in California. So it's a duplex. It's a 3-bed, right? Or, yeah, whatever. Just 3-bed, 1 bath, right? It's a duplex. How much are you getting rent for it to make sense? Like, I don't see how you can make the number make sense. Around 180 to 200,000, 220 per year, okay? So if we just take 200,000, so 200,000. Let me see how much you guys are renting it out per month. How much you guys getting per month? Oh, damn. 16,000 in rent? Holy, dude, 16,000 in rent per month? Which means you're renting out each unit for 8,000. Dude, my God. It must be dude, that's crazy, dude. 8,000 per unit? Dude, that's insane, bro. Anywhere from 10K to 30K per month. Okay, so now they're not, on short-term rentals. Okay, now I understand. So this is an Airbnb. I see. So this is an Airbnb because there's no way, dude, that it will make sense for a long-term rental. It's an Airbnb. Now it makes sense. Got it. Okay. All right, guys. So let me call the seller really quick here. Because, see, for those of you in my area, right, where I live, if you can get 1%, dude, I'm happy. If you can get 1%, I am happy. And for those of you who don't know what 1% means, which means if I'm going to buy this property for $100,000, all I want is to get $1,000 in rent, which means that's gonna assure that I'll make $250 on that units, right? On that house, just $250, right? So in my area, if you can get 1%, dude, you're golden, but it's really hard. Okay, a lot of tax involved with city license. I know, it's crazy, dude. So let me call the seller. I'm going to try to renegotiate this deal. I got to get off. Okay, let me try to renegotiate this deal. Okay. I actually have an announcement that I forgot to make. So for those of you listen, this is something I've never done before. I'm looking for 10 people that want to take on a 4-week challenge with me, which means we will meet once a week for 4 weeks straight. I'll show you exactly how to close your first deal completely virtual. Basically, I'm going to take my 12 years of knowledge and experience and jam pack into this 4-week to fast track and speed you up. Like we meet, I'll show you exactly what you need to do. I don't care what city, I don't care what market you're in. I'll show you how to identify the market. I'll show you what list to target, right? And then I'll show you, obviously, we talk about negotiating, getting it under contract, finding a buyer, getting a deal. So all 4 weeks, fast track and get you your first deal the quickest. So if that's something you're interested in, it's going to cost some money, only for 10 people. This is my first time ever doing this, okay? The link is in my description. So if you're interested, go there, check it out, sign up if you want, okay? But only for 10 people. Because I just want to keep it small, group, a tight group. That way I'll be able to help every single one. So let me call the seller really quick here. Okay. Let me call the seller really quick here. I have to renegotiate this deal with the seller. I don't know how it's going to go. I got 2 sellers I got to call. So let me see here.
Hello?
Hello. Happy Friday. Is this Doug?
Yes, it is.
Doug, it's Khang. How's it going?
Oh, all right.
How's your guys' vacation trip, Doug?
It was good.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So basically, Doug, because you guys were on vacation, and I obviously didn't want to bother you and the wife, but I don't know if you got my last message. My wife and I, we kind of chat over it, and I know that our team needs some work right now. So with that price, Doug, do you think it's something that you guys can make it work, or still not?
I don't know what the last communication you sent was. I thought we had talked, and then I told you that it wasn't going to work for me.
Right.
And I thought that was about it. The last of it I heard from you.
Yeah.
What was where were you on price?
So we went back, we talked to the contractor. Obviously, we try to make the number work, and we asked him, hey, could you guys come in and we'll work out the number for us? And we're like, hey, we'll continue to give them more workload just so they can give us a little price drop on their labor costs. So I think the last time we calculated the numbers, instead of, I think 3 something, we were going to say, hey, I think after everything, Doug, would you be able to do 331,000? So it'd be 331,000. That's still with us covering all the closing costs, all the fees, and we're pretty much ready to close this thing. Probably, I would say in the next 15 days or less.
That's leaving us with about 200,000.
Let me see here. So that will leave you guys with about right around 231,000.
I don't know whether that's going to work yet, because we went back and we were looking back in Miami, and everything we're running into is right around the 700,000 to 800,000 range. I think I'm going to need a little bit more out of it. So,
Doug, so I guess my question to you is, how much more do you need out of it where we can still make it work for you and for us?
I'm still stuck on the $300,000 range, but I just think that it's worth a little bit for somebody that wants to buy something that, have a lot there. The lot's worth quite a bit, I think. I feel like it is. It's in a great neighborhood. I don't know. I'd have to talk it over with the wife and see where the absolute minimum would be, but I'm pretty sure she's going to agree with me on that it's going to be closer to 3 than anything else.
Than the low 2.
So.
Okay. So you guys are pretty much stuck on having to get that 300,000.
Well, as close to it as we possibly can, I'm sure. And to be honest with you, 230,000 isn't going to be enough.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So,
well,
if it was 250, I'd say I'd have to consider it.
Okay.
But, I think I'd probably start to consider it at that point.
Okay.
But I'm not even going to consider it 230. I just can't.
No, I hear you. So how about this, Doug? Could you, because I want to make sure you and Yvonne are ready to go, if anything. So could you talk to Yvonne when she gets home and making sure that you guys are on the same page? I mean, If you saying if we can get to 250, so that's net to you guys walking away with, we cover all the closing costs and all the fees still, right? Right, Doug?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doug, I can't promise you anything. I'll probably chat with my wife, and I'll probably also have a meeting with the contractor as well.
Okay.
But I think if you can chat with Yvonne, and I'll touch base with you later, maybe tonight or early tomorrow. And if we can do the 250, I'll chat with Lon and see if she was willing to take the risk, and maybe there's something that we can do there, Doug. Would that work for you?
I don't know whether that's, I might be overstepping my place too.
Sure. No, I understand. I understand.
I haven't talked to her about it, seriously about it, because when we left, I just kind of cleared my head of everything, and we went on vacation. So.
Nope, I hear you, and I think that's the best thing to do. So, and Doug, I'm not holding you accountable for any numbers at all, and hopefully that you're not holding me to anything as well. I think I'll let you chat with Yvonne, and then maybe I'll touch base with you tomorrow morning just to give you guys enough time just to chat about it, and then maybe we can revisit this tomorrow again, and I'll chat with my wife and the contractor and see if there's anything that we can make it work, Doug, and if we can't, then we just can't. All right?
All right, sounds good.
I appreciate you, Doug. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yep, I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye, Doug.
Yep, bye.
Bye. Boom. Let me know if you guys enjoy that. So let me break down the number for you guys so you guys can understand where I'm at and why this renegotiating is probably one of the, it's probably one of the biggest renegotiating that I've ever done. So we got this property under contract at $455. And the reason I'm willing to share this with you, because this is business, I'm willing to be vulnerable and let you guys know that, I've been in the game for 12 years. And not every single time and not every single property that you put under contract, right, is a win. It's an easy transaction. Majority of them are not easy. So let me run the number through so you guys can understand where I'm at. Why did we put it under contract for $455,000? And now I need to get him back down to $300 something thousand. So when we first chat with him, we came to an agreement of $455,000. Because that house sits on a lot that we thought that we can add what's called an ADU in the back. So which means this will worth way more to an end buyer, which means they can keep the house in the front and they can add an ADU in the back, which is something that my city's starting to allow, investor to do, right? Because there's a shortage of housing. So, and there's not enough, land. So they're willing to now allow people to do an ADU. So to a end buyer, this property becomes very valuable. But what happened is, dude, I think we sent 5 real solid cash buyers out there, and all of them came back and said, hey, Khang, the setback is not big enough or it's not wide enough for us to actually put an ADU in there. Because for this to work, the setback has to be wide enough for the fire truck to go in the back if there's in case of a fire. You see, in all of this, the only way that you learn all of this is by getting into the game, right? Because otherwise, if you're not in the game, you're not going to know this. And that's why people who've been in the game longer, they're able to spot out. They're able to spot out bigger opportunities than the newbie. Right? They're able to see things like this that most new investors don't get to see. But that's how you learn, right? You get better and better and better, and then eventually you become a pro, and you can spot out things like this. So anyways, so we put it under 445 because if this thing was able to add an ADU, this property is going to worth like around $850,000 to $900,000. So I was looking to make $100,000 on this deal, and we couldn't do it. So this is like my 5th call trying to renegotiate this deal with the seller. Now, the cool thing is I built extremely good rapport with the seller, right? And that's why he's not pissed. That's why he's not mad. And that's why he's still answering my phone call. And that's why I'm telling you guys all the time, rapport is key when it comes to, getting more time on the contract, renegotiating on the price, or canceling the contract. Rapport is key. So I built such a good rapport with Doug and his wife, and we came back. I came back, and my first offer was $301,000, and that's a big price drop. They owe roughly about $97,000 on their property. We currently got a buyer right now that is ready to go, and he's hungry. Like, he wants this deal. But the max that he will go is $355,000. That's the max he'll pay. So earlier when he said, hey, you know, me and Yvonne, we might, you know, if you go to 250, I might consider it. So for me now, I say, dude, if anything, dude, I might make $5K or $10K on this deal. Might as well get it done, right? It helps the seller out, yada, yada, yada. But I think that I might be able to go back and tell the buyer, hey, you know what, dude? Could you do 365? If I can get him to come up an extra $10,000 and get the seller now at what is it? He wants 250. He wants to walk away with 250. So which is 350, which means I can squeeze in there about a $15,000 wholesale fee. That's where I'm at right now, right? That's how my mind is operating right now. So if I can get the seller to agree to the 250 net to them, shoot, man, I can get the 350. I can try to get the buyer to come up, you know, another extra 5 to 10,000, and I'll turn this no deal into a $15,000 deal. Boom. So the lesson that you guys need to learn from this is, you know, a lot of times some deal doesn't work out, but you can always renegotiate. You know, when I started my real estate career 12 years ago, nobody told me that I can renegotiate. If I knew that, you know how many more deals I would have done? I would have done way more deals. But I was afraid to put a property in a contract because I was afraid that what happened if I can't find a buyer, right? I didn't know that I can go back and renegotiate. I thought that I'm just going to, like, you know, I was so scared. And a lot of times, obviously, when you don't know what you don't know, then fear comes in and it holds you back, right? Because when you are new to something, you just don't know a lot of loophole, right? You don't know a lot of loophole around a lot of this thing. So I got another seller I need to call. Teresa. And let me tell you about this property. Okay. This is the property. Okay. Okay. This is the property. Okay. Let me erase this. Okay. Now, if you guys enjoy this, please smash the thumbs up, comment in and let me know if this is valuable or is this just boring. And when it comes to work, it's boring, right? It's boring content. I understand that. So this property here, a seller got a letter from us in the mail, and I will share with you what list I got this deal from. So she got a letter from us and she gave us a call. Okay, this is an absentee owner. Okay, and currently right now there's 4 people that's on title. Okay, and she wanted right around $650,000. I talked to my realtor yesterday that this property is probably worth about $1 million, and she wants $650,000. Now the problem is she has to get the other 3 people who's on title agree to the $650,000. Okay. And Wada said, I just cold calling. Let's go. So I'm going to call Teresa back. You guys can hear that, right?
Hi, you've reached Teresa T. When I can.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hi, Teresa. This is Khang with We Buy Houses. We chat yesterday about your property in Point Robert. I know that you still have to talk to the other 3 party regarding, obviously, you know, what they want and how much you guys want to sell it for. I just want to let you know, because I don't want to waste your time or our time. And I want to make sure that you know that when you talk to them, that you have somewhat of a figure in mind. So that way you guys don't have to go back and forth. So for us, I know yesterday when I chat with you, Teresa, you mentioned that you were roughly looking about $650,000 for the property. I think my assistant has sent you over a the tax assessed value of what the property's worth already, just so you kind of have an idea. We also did some research on our end. We have bought quite a bit of property in the area as well. So I just want to let you know that that 650 could very possibly work for us, that we can make it work. So if you can chat with, the other three party, and if they are good with that, then I love to chat with you again, or maybe you guys have a different numbers. I'm not sure where you're at, but I love to chat with you again and see how we can make this thing work for you and for us, and be able to move forward and buy the property from you. So anyways, I just want to let you know that I think that we are within the ballpark, and to make this work. And you can let them know that, our whole thing is we pay all cash. We can close quickly. So I know you're not too worried about so much about the time frame. But, my whole thing is, whatever date, whatever time that you guys, that's convenience, we can close on it. Let them, we are willing to buy the property in as-is conditions, which means if there's anything that, they want to take at the property, or you want to take at the property, you can. And if there's anything you don't, you can leave it there. We'll come in, we'll clean it up. You don't have to worry a thing about it. And also, too, the beauty about selling us the property is that, you don't have to worry about paying for all the closing costs and all the fees. That's something that we will take care of. And also, too, is there's no realtor commission. And if there is any, we are also responsible for it as well. So I guess overall is that I think you also mentioned that you all own the property free and clear. So if that's the case, then if we agree on a price of $650 or whatever the number is, that will be the exact amount of cash that you guys will be walking away with at the time of closing. And there will be no hidden fees, because we'll cover everything, all the closing costs, all the fees, and everything else for you. So whatever price we agreed upon, Teresa, that'll be the net amount that you guys will walk away with at the time of closing. No surprises. So I just want to let you know that. So when you do talk to them, you'll be able to present them with all the information. So Teresa, once again, if you have any questions, any concern,
please finish your message within 8 seconds.
So Teresa, if you have any question, any concern, feel free to call me or text me back at this number. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your Friday. Bye. The message is so long. Okay, so now the buyer that's going to buy the deal, he texts me. So I'm going to call him. Watch this. Dude, I'm giving you guys the game. Like the game.
What up?
Ryan, what up? Happy Friday, bro.
Yeah, you too, man.
So Ryan, I mean, dude, good timing that you just texted me. I actually just got off the phone with the seller. Nice. Yeah, so he just came back from vacation. Yvonne is she's at work. She'll be home at I think 4 o'clock or 4:30, and then he said that he'll talk to his wife about it and see, how low they can come down to, so we can make it work. I mean, we're still very far apart, but I do have a question for you, Ryan.
Yep.
So you understand that with whatever price that we end up agreeing on, that you have to pay all the closing costs and all the fees on the seller side, right?
Correct.
Okay. That way I know. So that way I know, so you can get all your numbers together. So I am going to call and chat with Doug again tomorrow. And
Okay.
and I think tomorrow, Ryan, it's probably going to be the day that I'll be able to give you an answer, because I pretty much told him today, hey, let's chat about it. We can either make this work or not. So I'll give you an answer tomorrow.
Perfect, man. That sounds good. And yes, I'm aware of closing costs and all that good stuff. So.
And Ryan, you're still good in closing 15 days or sooner, correct?
Yeah, and realistically, I mean, we'll close as fast as title can close. So if that's like 5 to 7 days, we can do that. But usually it seems like title getting payoff from the seller's mortgage takes
I know
7 to 10 days as is. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we'll close in less than 14 days. It'll probably be more like 7 to 10.
Okay, sounds good. And
Awesome.
And Ryan, how big of a non-refundable can you put down?
I'll throw 10 grand down.
Okay. All right, Ryan. I'll chat with Doug tomorrow, and once I get an answer, I'll let you know ASAP.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, buddy.
I appreciate it, Ryan.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Bye, bro.
Bye.
That's how you do it. Like when you one thing I want to break down the call, I want you guys to understand. As you guys can see, when I talk to the buyer, it's just very short, very straightforward. Like, listen, we're all business, dude. Like, the one thing I don't like is just wasting time. That's the one thing I don't like, is wasting time. Let's just get straight to the point, dude. So as you guys can see, what did I ask the buyer? Who's listening? What did I ask the buyer? I did not say, hey, we need 1,000 EMD, not earnest money deposit. You guys need to understand when I'm like, I break down the call so you understand, so you don't make the mistake. I do not use the word EMD. Earnest money deposit means they can get it back. I said, how much of a non-refundable? That's how you know when you're dealing with a legit buyer or just a bullshit one, right? I said, how much? I asked, listen, I always ask. Never assume. I always ask. And guess what he said? 10,000. Who here has got a $10,000 non-refundable? That's right. Dude, I got a buyer to drop down a $25,000 non-refundable. Like, they're ready to go. Like, I mean, this non-refundable is going to go toward their purchase price. Why would it matter? I mean, if you're gonna buy a $300,000 house and you want to put down $500, come on, man, shit, bro. So which means he puts down 10,000 and he gets cold feet. All of a sudden, he got cold feet and he wants to back out. This $10,000 gets. Guess who gets to keep it? That's right. I get to keep it. Right? And then I'm going to go back to the seller. I'm going to be like, hey, Doug. So unfortunately, my partner is going through some issue, some family problem. So unfortunately, we can't close. But here's what I'm going to do, Doug, because of we wasted X amount of your time. I apologize. So what I'm going to do is, how about I release? I'll give you 2,000, or I'll start with 1,000. I'll give you 1,000 right now. The price hasn't changed. I'll give you 1,000 right now, and just give me another like 15, 20, or 30 days, whatever it is. So now I'm using his money. I'm going to shut the seller up by saying, hey, let me give you some money. Give me more time. Bam. That's just how you do it, guys. That's how you do it. But the whole entire time, you need to understand it. Real estate is all about relationship. So build your relationship with your seller and with your buyer. You want to work with someone who's legit, right? I mean, when I met Ryan's legit, okay? But make sure that you qualify them, you filter you qualify your buyers, man. Don't waste time working with talker. You want to work with doers. You want to work with movers and shaker. Okay. What else that I can do for you? Khang, what is an ADU? It's basically an addition. Okay, it's like a mother-in-law suite. It's like an addition. You can add an addition units. So ADU addition units in the back. Typically, it's very small. It could be a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, right? It's just an ADU in the back. That way, the investor will be like, hey, I can rent out the front house. I can also rent out the back house. Or they can now flip it and sell to a first-time home buyer who wants to live in the front, rent out the back. So half the ADU cover their mortgage, right? So that's why the value increase. That's why the property worth more. Let me see here. Let me see if I have time to. Okay, 11:20. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. What else did we? Okay. Let me see here. I just want to make sure I cover everything. And I did mention where I got the lead, where I got the list. So once again, for those of you, if I ask that you can target, what do you say? If the answer is no, then your problem is you don't have leads in your pipeline, my friend. That's why you haven't got your first deal, or that's why you're not closing one deal a month consistently, because you don't have deal flow coming into your pipeline. Okay, so here's the software that I use, and I can show you guys right now how easy it is. So, so the list, the lead that I was talking about, Teresa. Here's how we got her. Okay, so I go. All you do is once you sign up to this software, your dashboard is going to look something like this. Listen, if you're serious about building a wholesaling business, okay, this could be your second stream of income. Right? Part-time or full-time, I don't care. But if you're serious about this and making more money, then what you need is you always need leads in your pipeline, my friend. You always have to have people who you can call, you can text. Okay? Because without that, you're not going to get any deal. So what I'm going to do is, once you sign up, your dashboard is going to look something like this. You go into property leads. Then you put in your city and your state. It's very that simple. So if I'm going to go in Seattle, Washington, I'm just going to put Seattle, Washington. You're going to go Seattle, Washington. You click Seattle, Washington. And then all you do is, I'm so simple. Even a 5-year-old can do this. You click on filter. We're going to get rid of apartments. We're going to get rid of townhouse, condo. We only want to focus on single family and multifamily. So if you don't have a list you can target, I'm giving you a list right now in front of your eyes, something that you can literally sign up, pull a list, and start pounding the phone, calling, texting, emailing under 10 minutes. And if you cannot focus for 10 minutes to get rocking and rolling, then honestly, you're not going to succeed. You're not going to succeed at anything that you do. A lot of you have too much distraction. So the one that we got is absentee owner. They don't live in the property. There's 31,000 people in Seattle, right? That's an absentee owner, but obviously the list is way too big. So let me show you how to filter the list, how to make it smaller. And you can sign up for the basic plan, okay? Absentee owner, tax delinquents, these are all on the basic plan. So I'm going to go absentee owner. You see here results 31,000. All you need to do is go down here. So this is the wholesale score, which means they'll rank that owner out of the 31,000. They'll be like, hey, I will tell you, right? They use AI. They'll say, hey, I will tell you who is motivated from 0 to 1,000. The higher the score, the more desperation, motivation that they analyze the seller is in. Typically, we start with about 500 as a wholesale score. And now it's going to take that 31,000 down to 1,700. Now, this is very, very chewable. Okay, this is very chewable, which means a list of 1,700 people that has a 500 motivation score. It tells you right now, it'll give you the list. All you need to do, my friend, is you can literally now, you don't have to pay for skip tracing. All of the skip tracing is already been being paid for, so it is free for you to access. So all I need to do is, out of the 1,700 people, you just go here, click, bam. Look, there's their phone number. Don't worry about the do not call list. It doesn't apply to us real estate investor. You can still call them. The law on that has been removed. So I would go here, I would call them. I would text them, and there's the email. I would also email them. Now, if you want to send them a letter, you can. If you want to send them a letter, so easy. Or you want to send them a postcard, you go here. You say, hey, I want to select all 1,800 of them. And then you click on my leads. And guess what, my friend? You can send out direct mail. You can literally say, hey, boom, let's send them all a letter or sell all a postcard. All right here directly from the software. And it literally, if you guys want to set up a mailing campaign from this, takes you less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes that you can get it all set up. But typically what I do is I take the list, right? So let me go back. So typically I take the list, and what we do is we handwrite, we handwritten the envelope and we send them. Okay? We send them a letter. And that's how the seller calls us. She got one of our letters. And listen, there's a list of 1,700 people, okay, that you can target. And if you cold call them, literally, it shouldn't take you more than a week. If you really lock in and dial in, it shouldn't take you more than a week to call these 1,700 people. And out of those 1,700 people, what if one of them in there that say yes? that are able to work with you, that accept your lowball offer. You put under contract, and then now let's find the buyer. And this is how easy it is. It has never been this easy before when I first started 12 years ago. So all you do is once you have it, you put down the property address here, right? You put down the property address there, and now instead of clicking on absentee owner, you click on cash buyer. Bam. You click on cash buyer, and it will literally pull all the cash buyer that's buying property in that area. And right there at your fingertips, you can call them and start selling your deal to them, just like that. So a lot of you, I've been getting a lot of questions. It's like, where do I start? Where do I start? Now, if this is not enough, now you guys say, Khang, I need more training. I need more help, more guidance, more support. So consider joining my Wholesale to Million Academy. Become one of my students. Spend 6 months with me. So here's your options. If that's something you're interested in, all you need to do is book a call with my team. Just go coachwithkhang.com. Love to have you as a student. Okay? Anyways, that's all the time I have. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I truly hope that this video add a lot of value to you, and there's a lot of knowledge in here that you're able to take away. Until next time, take care, and let's go get this Mobi. I'm out.